Hello, welcome. It's Wanda of Wanda Budgets and Beyond. Back again, folks. Back again with a brief little information bulletin for you all. I'll call it that. Regarding Americans are carrying a record amount of household debt. That's what I'm going to be talking about today in this brief, very brief conversation that I'm going to have. So I pulled a report, and it is from Fox Business News, dated today. Today is 14th. Yes, the 14th at 1:13 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, Eastern Standard Time over here. Of course, they are out of New York. But yeah, it's regarding the debt that we Americans have over here. I have debt. Uh, some of you all out here that are listening to my voice right now or will hear it at some point have debt, may have debt, or may have had debt, and now you're out of it, which is a good thing, which is something that I am working towards, and hopefully others are also. We can see that a whole lot of things play into people having a lot of debt, etc. It could be, you had some type of medical emergency where you had to run up the credit card because you're having all of these appointments, having to buy prescription, getting the prescriptions filled. You may not have enough insurance or adequate insurance, and you're having to make up the parts for that. Someone in your family or you, if it's just you and your kids or something, may have had a job loss or reduced hours, and now we're looking to the credit card to sustain us until we can find more employment, more hours elsewhere, try to get those hours back, do side hustle gigs, et cetera, et cetera. Some people may possibly are overspending. They're not living within their means, so they are just buying any and everything on the credit card without regard for, how am I going to pay this? Look at this interest rate that this credit card is having, and a whole host of things. Some things that get us into credit card debt may be bad, and some things may be just life stuff happening to us that we had zero control over, et cetera, et cetera. Not an excuse, but life is what it is, and not everything, fits perfectly into that round hole, et cetera. Because things happen in people's life. It is what it is. If you get into a car accident or something, one person is out of work. You're used to that person having income coming in. That income is not coming in, so now you need to pay your mortgage. You need to pay your utilities. You need to, buy food, clothing. The kids need to be taken care of. You have to pay the daycare. So you're going to pull out that credit card and use it where you see fit, where it can be used, et cetera, to get your debt and stuff going. And what happens in a lot of these cases is that we fall behind in our debt so severely that it's possible that some of us can't get out of it, don't know how to get out of it, etc. But this report just is saying, Americans and their debt, the type of debt that they're having, and how much debt that Americans have. So I'm just going to read, some of it, etc. So one or two of the takeaways that I took from this report, and there's a lot of stuff, but just one or two, was that, like, the first statement that I am going to read is Americans racked up more debt at the beginning of 2024, and a growing number of households fell behind on payments for several types of loans, according to a New York Federal Reserve report published Tuesday today. In the first 3 months of 2024, total household debt surged to a fresh record of 17.69 trillion, an increase of 184 billion, or 1.1% from the previous quarter. And another takeaway that I got was that the average credit card interest rate was 20.66%. That is extreme. The report also goes on to say that Joe Biden, yeah, a new Biden administration rule has created an $8 ceiling for credit card late fees. I don't know when this is supposed to go into effect. If you want to get more information on that, if that's something you're interested in, then you can go and check out to see if that is actually in effect now, or when it will come into effect. What all are the criteria, the parameters? Because I just can't think that just across the board, Visa, MasterCard say, hey, Biden administration, we can't deal with this, You wanted to go down to $2, $3, $8. I can't see that. But anyway, that's a want to focus, yes. But there's a new Biden administration rule, per this report, has created an $8 ceiling for credit card late fees. Okay. I guess at some point, the folks that have late fees, we'll see if that is in fact the case. But those were some of the takeaways that I took away from all of this, etc. The thing is, for me, if you are having any type of if you're falling behind in your credit card payments, you get 1 month behind, 2 months, 3 months behind. If you get 1 month behind, if you know that you are going to miss a payment, let's start there. If you know that you are not going to be able to pay the payment on the date that it is due, and you probably won't be able to make the payment within the grace period that a lot of these credit card companies have set, contact that credit card company, contact that bank if it's a Navy Federal Credit Union Visa, or some other type of credit union Visa or regular Visa, MasterCard, all of them, Discover, whatever, American, whatever it is, whatever type of credit card you have, and whether it's to a big box store or a particular retailer, etc., contact them and let them know that you are unable to make the payment, and let them know when you will be able to make the payment. And definitely, please make sure if you tell them something, make sure that you make the payment on that date or before, etc. Do not fall into the trap of just calling them, promising, because they're making note of it. And then when it gets to be a month behind, or maybe so many months behind, whatever the criteria is to where they have to report it to the credit union, that is going to really, have an effect on, of course, your credit, and you're in the future being able to get the type of credit that you may want. If you have so many dings on your credit report, if you get so many, and if you had some already, it's going to be problematic for you. So that's the first place to start. If you have an issue, contact them and say, hey, I am having an issue. I'll be able to make the payment on this date, etc. If you know that you're going to miss one payment. If you know that you're having a financial issue, someone lost their job, you lost your job, and this is something that is going to be ongoing until you find employment, etc., or the other person finds employment, then let them know that you're having a bump in the road, and tell them what it is that you are able to pay. And this is what I'm about to say next, is how you're going to get to telling them what it is that you are going to be able to pay them, because you're having this period of unemployment and you can't make your payment or the full payment, etc. So what you want to do, so that if the conversation goes further than what it is that I am explaining, you have given information to them. What you want to do is, of course, contact them to let them know you're having an issue. But before that, do a budget. Do a budget. Do a new budget, because if someone's income is gone and it has been gone for a month or so, or something another like that, you know what the new numbers are. So do a budget with your new numbers, and definitely put down all the stuff that you need to pay: your utilities, the rent, mortgage, uh, yeah, utilities, the rent, mortgage. You have to eat. If you have a car and the person needs a car to get to work, then that needs to be, put in there. Car payment, if there is one. Car insurance, if there is one. If you live in an HOA or something another like that, you have a mortgage, you got an HOA, you have to put that in there also into. So all the things that are necessary and needed are what you're going to be budgeting for. Now, you can decide whether you want to keep any subscriptions or something like that. In my opinion, no, you don't want to do that, because you want to work with just your bare bones, just taking care of the things that you need to take care of. That other stuff can go to the wayside until you are in a better position. So it might be helpful to cancel those so that you can get that money back, and you can, put it towards something that is more needed and necessary at this point when you are having an issue. Okay, so do a budget and identify all the shortfalls. So you have the amount that your new budget is. You wrote down all the necessary items that you need to pay, mortgage, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What is the shortfall? Because you're probably going to have a negative amount. You're probably going to have a negative amount that you are lacking. Excuse me. So is there some way that you can fill in the gap is there some way that you can fill in the shortfall gap? Like, can someone do Uber or DoorDash or something or another to fill in the gap? If it's a gap of $300 or $500, can someone do enough to fill in the gap of $500? And this extra $500 is just for the shortfall that you are having for all the necessary and essential things that you need to keep your life going on. Okay, nothing extra, no gym, no any type of subscriptions, no sports packages, nothing of that type. Identify all the shortfalls that you need. And if you can cover it by, doing DoorDash, Uber, et cetera, any of these other type of things, then do so, make that happen. So see if increasing your income is possible. Also, another thing that you may want to do, and people may want to shy away from this because they don't want people in their business, but if you have a friend that you have had for a long period of time, you may want to use that person as a sounding board. And I'm talking like a good friend, you know, you feel comfortable telling them your situation and you feel comfortable with them asking you questions and there may be hard questions like, hey, what has been going on? How have you been utilizing your money? After you tell them all of this, they may have some hard questions for you, but you are the type of person that you know that they are coming from a place of love and they're wanting to help. They're asking this so that they can get the full picture so that they can help you. So you may want to talk to a good and trusted friend if you have that in your life, because some people do not. You may want to use that person as a sounding board because they may have a solution or some solutions for you. Okay, they may be able to help you get a job or something other like that, or they may know a person. You just never know. So if you have that type of person and you are comfortable telling them, your particular issue, then do that. Other than that, you may want to get the professional help if you think that, okay, you can call the company and tell them this and other, but you see that there's going to be a bigger problem, or maybe it's possible that there was a bigger problem to begin with, that you were living, above your means, etc. And now that this job thing has, did its thing, now you know that you are in a bad spot. And if the job thing keeps going on and you're not able to fill in the shortfall gaps and in the new budget that you have, that is going to get more problematic for you, and you may want to get some financial counseling, etc. I am not that. I'm not a financial counselor, advisor. This is for information, entertainment purposes only. I'll put it that way. So yeah, the report goes on saying that in a whole lot of the different debt categories that people are having issues here in this report. But it did say that the credit card balances fell by $14 billion to 1.12 trillion because the people that got debt during the holidays, that they've been working to pay that debt off, to pay that debt down. I mentioned about the $8 late fee limit that the Biden administration created, a rule that they created. It mentions about people struggling with credit card, student, and auto loan payments. And if that is you, also into contact if it's Ford Motor Credit, or I don't know, maybe Chevy Motor Credit, I don't know. I do know about Ford Motor Credit. I had a Ford Tempo eons ago. So I know about that. If you are having issues with the people that are servicing your auto loan, if you have one, contact them. I get it. None of these people want compensation, but you do need to call and let them know that you are having an issue, and then pay when you're supposed to pay. And of course with your mortgage also in too. Yeah, you got to call and let the folks know that you're having an issue. And if you see it as something that is going to be ongoing, then try your best to kind of sort of think it out in your head, write it down. You and your spouse, significant other, sit and talk and do the budget and see what it is that you can do yourself to try to right the ship, as they say. And if not, then look online to see if you can get some information. But you're definitely going to have to, at some point, call and let them know that you are having an issue. It's better that you call them first before they call you, etc. And of course, keep in mind that they're going to make notes, etc. But it's okay that they make notes, because you're going to make notes too. You're going to make notes of who you talked to, the time it was, what all you said, etc., the gist of it, what all they said, etc. You're going to make notes also too. But the thing is, you owe them, and definitely you want to make sure that you do what it is that you're saying that you're going to do when you're making the call to them. If it's the first call, the second call, the third call, etc. And in regards to your mortgage and some of the other stuff too, but with regards to the mortgage, because you need someplace, to live, etc. Um, there are lots of different things out here where people or folks claim, etc., that they can help you with your mortgage. Please be careful when you're going to look on here because maybe some people are anxious, they're getting depressed, they're overwhelmed, etc., and they know that they already missed 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. It's looking like that's going to happen, and people may do something drastic. People are out here scamming all the time, and you don't want to do that. Contact your mortgage company. They may have some type of program in place. They may extend the terms of your loan. They may try to lower the payment for you, and there's stuff involved with that also too. But I get it. No one wants to be homeless, and you're going to try to do. Hopefully, a person is going to try to do everything that they can to save their home because if you're going to foreclosure, I don't know how long that takes. It depends, but at some point you're going to have to find a place to live, and when they come do up your credit report, then that can be problematic, and they see that that's on there. And not to mention, most of these places, if you want to try to rent someplace, they're asking you have to have 3 times. You have to make 3 times something or another about 3 times the amount that you're making has to cover the rent. A whole bunch of criteria that is don't go there, Wanda. It's aimed at keeping people out of there. I'll just say that. Okay, how about that? How about them apples? But yes, if you're finding yourself um, having, mortgage loan problems or issues, etc., credit card, student loan, whatever they're doing with that nowadays, I don't know, but I'm sure most people are still paying on their loan until whatever program that the Biden administration has come up with this time, and if people, you know, are able to qualify for it, then so be it. But people are still paying their loan. If you're having any type of issues with that, contact the servicing folks and let them know that you are having issues with that. And definitely do your budget, do your revised budget based on, people not having enough, someone lost their job, the hours got reduced, and it's going to be ongoing. Someone's job just went away, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, lots of household debt. And some of it may be due to, just before the pandemic happened, et cetera. A lot of people, of course, lost their jobs and people just got into a tailspin. People that had perfect credit, they couldn't go outside, they couldn't go to their job, they couldn't work from home, because of the job that they had. And here we are now in all of this. And now we're fine. Don't go there, Wanda. But yeah, take action quickly. Call and let them know that you're having a problem and let them know when you're able to pay it. But make sure you're talking to your spouse or your significant other before you all get on the phone and, start telling your business. But of course, you need to let them know because, you got something from them, credit, and you need to pay that money back. But definitely make sure that everyone, you and your spouse, significant other, are on the same page and they know what you're going to be telling the person on the phone if they're not going to be there, etc. And then just work on getting your budget together. I know I sound like a broken record. Getting your budget together so that you can know your numbers. You can know your numbers because if it gets a little bit crazy and you have to go talk to a professional, they're going to want to know your numbers also too. So you can give them the new numbers based on your current situation, etc. So with that being said, that is all that I have for this report. But yeah, take care. And as always, do your best to live below your means. Talking to myself also too while I was in there chatting. Do your best to try to live below your means. Uh, limit to not limit your, the amount of debt that you go into. Like I said, don't go into any debt. That would be ideal, etc. But it is what it is, folks. But yeah, do your best to live below your means and, have that budget, work your budget, all of that good stuff. Thank you so much for being here. I do appreciate your time as always. Take care.